he was called a sexual predator. So are they saying he's still a sexual predator, but it's a misunderstanding? I mean, there's certainly that invasion of privacy that goes on, but I think it's not so much having something to do with me that turned the tide. I mean, the reason to put the information out there is just because of who he is. It's the truth.
But I think right now what's happening behind the scenes is she is freaking out, and Taylor cannot then call in a marketing guru to spin things to make her look innocent. A deposition, legal deposition, is not a song. It is not an album. You don't get to drop Taylor's version.
It's just the truth, and the reality is that you know, had there been these horrible things, and had there been these horrible text messages, had there been this horrible information, you know, that stuff would have been put out there too.
You are under oath, and you will be compelled to tell the truth. If she was in fact more involved in this project, and again, I believe she was. Taylor Swift is alleging that Blake Lively is lying, but is Taylor telling the truth, or is this just a strategy to save her own skin?
My assumption is that they're going to probably take some legal actions that are beyond the bounds of decency, and we'll see if they can try to avoid a deposition.
Welcome back to Tea Time with Tina. All right, listen up and lock in, because we've got ourselves a Hollywood hullabaloo that's sizzling hotter than a jalapeno in July. Yep, you heard that right. Taylor Swift and Blake Lively have apparently pressed pause on their decade-long bestie bond, and the reason is juicier than a fresh summer peach. I'm talking lawsuits, hush-hush phone calls, and a swirling storm of accusations that might leave you asking, wait, what just happened?
You know, as we have alleged in our complaint, that, you know, this was a takeover of a movie, and, you know, whether we find out exactly what the reasons for the takeover were and who was behind the takeover, I think that we're going to find some interesting documents.
Let's start this roller coaster at the top. Taylor Swift and Blake Lively, two icons whose bond seemed unbreakable. For over a decade, these ladies showed us how a true Hollywood friendship could thrive under the bright lights and sharper tongues of tabloids. Taylor wrote songs about heartbreak and healing, while Blake served up witty humor and style that left us all speechless. They were the ultimate sisterhood goals, from cameo appearances on each other's projects, to cozy holiday gatherings, to those random Instagram shoutouts that had fans squealing with envy. Heck, remember all those cutesy photos of them at award shows, or the times they gushed over each other on social media? It was like something out of a sparkly, fun-lovin' rom-com. No catfights, no cryptic subtweets, just two megastars supporting each other in a world that usually loves pitting women against one another.
It's a bit of a tough adjustment in our house, but it's good. I mean, I have two other daughters, so my oldest is very into the baby, but my middle child, not.
Well, I met him, and I just want to say he seems like one of the coolest people on earth.
But then, the record scratched. Suddenly, Taylor's marketing team announced, in that painfully professional PR tone, that the two were taking a break. Like, hold on, you mean Friends can go on break just like a Ross and Rachel relationship fiasco from Friends? Apparently so, and rumor has it, the straw that broke this beautiful friendship's back has a lot to do with the following bombshell feud. Before we dig into all the spicy details, do me a favor. Smash that like button like you're swatting away all the drama you never asked for, and hit subscribe, cause let's face it, we all got bills to pay. Now buckle up, because once we start spilling this tea, there's no going back. Okay, now grab your popcorn, because things are about to get real. Enter Justin Baldoni, the talented actor and director behind the adaptation of Colleen Hoover's novel, It Ends With Us. By all accounts,
I flew to New York and had like a 3-hour meeting with Blake. Right afterwards, I just said, "You are Lily. I'd be so honored if you would consider it." I remember when she finally said yes, we had a call with Sony, Viv, and everybody was like screaming. And that was the energy around her saying yes. And we were just so grateful.
He was set to lead a heartfelt, uplifting project. But somewhere along the way, lines got blurred, accusations started flying, and people's reputations ended up on the line. Blake Lively fired the first shot, claiming Baldoni harassed her during production and even orchestrated a smear campaign. Baldoni's response? A scorching $400 million countersuit against Blake and her hubby, Reynolds, for what he called defamation and extortion. extortion. That's not petty cash you shake out of the couch cushions. That's an "I'm going to fight this all the way" amount of money. It's a classic Hollywood showdown. Star actress claims harassment, director calls bluff, and everybody scrambles for receipts. Suddenly, innocent bystanders are being pulled into the swirl. And that, folks, is where Ms. Swift steps into the chaos. Now,
Well, I don't know that we're going to depose Taylor Swift or not. I think that that's going to be, probably a game time decision. I don't know that decision's been made, but I can tell you this: there's anyone that reasonably has information that can be that can provide evidence in this case is going to be deposed.
how exactly does a global superstar with the biggest fan base in the known universe get roped into this fiasco? Baldoni claims that Blake used Taylor Swift's clout, alongside that of hubby Ryan Reynolds, to apply pressure so he'd accept some major script changes. One particularly controversial rewrite apparently involved a rooftop scene that seemed trivial on the surface, but turned into a full-blown creative war. Taylor, known for her big heart and even bigger influence, publicly praised Blake's version of this rooftop scene, which to Baldoni's team was basically like waving a neon sign that said, "We've got Swifties on our side, you better comply." Talk about a power move. Then we have that borderline medieval reference from Blake, calling Taylor one of her dragons. If that's not some Game of Thrones level intimidation tactic, I don't know what is. Imagine your phone buzzing at midnight. Release the dragon. But it's not just about posturing. According to rumors swirling through the vine, Baldoni's camp has receipts that make Taylor look, at the very least, tangled up in the drama.
When Discovery starts, and I'm looking forward to Discovery, because when you start to look into what was in Stephanie Jones's hands and what was in Leslie Sloan's hands and what was in Blake Lively's text messages, and what those discussions were like, I think we're going to find the answers to this really quickly.
And y'all know Taylor hates being used as a chess piece in any game she hasn't signed up for. She's got enough heartbreak ballads to last her an eternity. She doesn't need a legal saga cramping her style, too. Strap yourselves in, because it doesn't stop there. A while back, a random Reddit post popped up, like those weird posts that vanish into the digital abyss if you don't screen capture them quick enough, claiming that Blake actually hired Taylor's music video editors to fine-tune her personal cut of It Ends With Us. No big deal, right? Directors hire different editors all the time, but oh honey, that's just the surface. The real kicker is that Taylor Swift's song was then slated to appear in the film, replacing the original composer's work. Allegedly, Sony was cornered into a tough choice: either keep the composer and lose Taylor's track, along with her unstoppable brand power, or drop the composer entirely and welcome Swift's stardom with open arms. According to these rumors, the composer and Taylor weren't exactly on friendly terms. Taylor apparently gave Sony an ultimatum: either he goes, or my song goes. Insert shocked gasp here. Whether that's 100% accurate is still up for debate, but the fact remains: the composer was pushed out, the Swift track stayed in, and Baldoni was left fuming like a tea kettle on max heat. The entire fiasco had him feeling cornered and overshadowed, losing more and more control over his own film. If that's not a recipe for resentment, I don't know what is. Now here's where it gets truly messy. Taylor, typically the queen of brand building, faced a serious dilemma. Does she side with her bestie Blake and risk stepping onto shaky legal ground? Or does she jump ship to save herself from a media meltdown?
That she wants nothing to do with this case, and is baffled by Blake later characterizing her as her quote-unquote dragon. The source adds, "It's weird to say that about a friend, and there's more." Why is Taylor Swift lying about that little exchange? And the answer is very simple. She does not want to get deposed, okay?
Let's be honest, Swift already has more than enough drama to fill her diaries for the next century. So when she peeped Baldoni's evidence, whatever it may be, she apparently got spooked. Think about it. The last thing Taylor wants is to be co-defendant in a monstrous, career-crippling lawsuit, especially when she's in the midst of global tours, re-recording her masters, and launching new brand partnerships left and right. She's got millions of fans, sponsors, and partners all counting on her. If a scandal involving alleged extortion, defamation, or harassment latches onto her name, it won't just tarnish her brand, it could unravel years of carefully orchestrated success. Hence, the whole taking a break announcement from Taylor's team. It's basically a PR-coded way of saying, we're stepping back before the SAT hits the fan. And who could blame her? If the rumors are true that Blake's involvement might drag Ryan Reynolds, and by extension, Taylor, into the line of fire, stepping away seems like the smartest business move. After all, if Blake's career falls like a house of cards, anyone tethered too closely might get taken down in the collapse. But wait, you might wonder, Taylor is no stranger to lawsuits, so why is this one pushing her away? Let's rewind to 2017, shall we? Taylor famously clashed with former DJ David Muller over that groping incident in 2013. The guy tried to countersue her for defamation, and Taylor, in her usual resilience, fought back, only asking for a symbolic $1 in damages to make her point. The jury sided with her, effectively telling the world, Taylor ain't playing around. So if we look at that case, we see Taylor's not exactly the type to run from a legal skirmish. She's proved she can go toe-to-toe in a courtroom and come out looking like a hero, but that was different. It was a personal violation. She had the moral high ground, and it was essentially a he said, she said scenario with simpler legal parameters. This new fiasco has multiple parties, giant contracts, potential extortion claims, and mega-million-dollar lawsuits swirling around like a drunken tornado at a carnival. For someone as brand-conscious and methodical as Taylor, the risk here is too unpredictable. Perhaps she realized that siding blindly with Blake could cost her far more than a single dollar, and with fans across the globe waiting on her every move, plus her near-constant expansions into new industries, the last thing she wants is some Swiftgate overshadowing it all. So, what happens next? Well, if these allegations against Blake are proven, or if more receipts come to light, her reputation could take a nosedive faster than a plane with no fuel. And if Ryan Reynolds is named as part of the alleged extortion attempt, that's going to be a big, fat headache for Team Deadpool. He's practically Hollywood royalty, known for his comedic genius and bankable charm. Seeing him wrapped in a messy lawsuit could be the ultimate PR nightmare. Plus, let's not forget that Taylor's involvement, no matter how peripheral, sparks immediate global attention. If more evidence surfaces that she was used as a dragon, or that she inadvertently strong-armed Sony, oh boy. Fans might start dividing into factions faster than you can say Team Edward and Team Jacob. Meanwhile, the rumor mill keeps churning. People on social media are already whispering about past moments when Blake might have exhibited what they call bullying behavior. Could that bubble into some unstoppable wave of cancellation? Or will the legal system slam the brakes on all these claims, leaving us with a big, fat nevermind? In the end, no one's quite sure where the chips will fall, but one thing's for sure. Hollywood friendships can be flimsy at best when a $400 million lawsuit hovers overhead. So there you have it, folks. A scandal that has everything: fame, fortune, lawsuits, heartbreak, and enough he said, she said theatrics to keep us entertained until the next Marvel movie. Taylor Swift and Blake Lively's once unshakable friendship has hit the biggest iceberg we've seen in ages, and whether it goes down like the Titanic or patches itself up is anyone's guess. We know Taylor is swiftly, pun very much intended, stepping away to protect her brand and sanity. We know Blake is knee-deep in allegations that could permanently stain her reputation if proven true. We know Ryan Reynolds is stuck in the crosshairs, and we definitely know Justin Baldoni isn't backing down from his massive countersuit. The question is, who's going to come out on top once the dust settles? Could this be the scandal that shakes Hollywood friendships to the core and reminds us that, behind the glamorous smiles, everyone's got secrets? Or is this just another messy moment that will eventually fade from memory, overshadowed by the next big meltdown? Whatever happens, you know we'll be right here, ready to spill the tea. So if you're itching to keep track of all the twists and turns, if you want to hear the next chapter in this swirling saga, hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications. Go on, don't be shy, then drop some comments below. Until next time, stay tuned, stay safe, and stay informed, only on Tea Time with Tina.